Okay.
Thank you for staying with us. No one tells a story like we do. Well, Nigerians do have a peculiar way of telling stories.
And to make it even more interesting, in the world today, the best documentaries are through storytelling. So if you want to tell the story of Nigeria, just get some individuals, you know, in the different cities that represent, that can give you an idea of what Nigeria is. And you know Nigeria, but just make sure they are not only living in the rural area.
Actually, that was a tagline from, I'm sure you know who they are. Do I need to tell you? Yes, Showmax. Showmax happens to be Africa's original streaming service that offers subscribers a wide variety of top local and international shows, movies, documentaries, Showmax originals, kids shows, and lots more. Available to watch on smart TVs, smartphones, tablets, computers, media players, and gaming consoles. Well, to tell us more about Showmax, we have the general manager with us this morning, Mr. Okpeoluwa Filani. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes, Mr. Storyteller. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
Yes, so Showmax has been a visible player in the subscription video on demand platform since 2019. What would you say differentiates Showmax from the other players?
Well, thank you for having me this morning. For us, local content continues to be the core of our differentiating strategy. From the very beginning, we have positioned ourselves and continue to apply a hyper-local approach to our content curation and development. What this simply means is that we produce relevant content within the respective regions that we operate in, or all over the content, telling stories that resonate with the audience in each of the territories, in their language, and featuring characters that they can identify with. So if you look at the content that we produce, you see the actors that people can relate with, the story itself, the storyline itself they can relate with, as opposed to just having a one-size-fits-all strategy that across the continent, just one language, one type of story is told. And even within the last 1 year, we've also seen that the local audience appreciates local stories. So the local content that we've had, which has 8 out of the 10 top most streamed content on the platform, as being local.
Okay, I wanted to ask you a quick one before, you know, by way of follow-up on that one. There are those who are wondering, why must I pay to watch TV? I mean, come on, it's TV, right? I mean, you talk about stories. A good number of people, your generation and mine, would remember Tales by Moonlight. So they didn't have to pay to watch it. So if you can just give a 30 seconds, in your opinion, and perhaps because you're also, you have a business background to this, what necessitated pay TV, subscription video on demand? What do you think necessitated it?
Well, I think the answer is actually in how we describe it: subscription video on demand.
Okay.
Which simply gives the option for a viewer or a consumer who wants to consume their content on the go, at their time, at their convenience, rather than how we used to have TV in the past. That on linear, what you find is, like this show now, it's between 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Once you miss it, you really can't access that content.
Okay. All right. I think that puts it, you know, takes it home to a number of people. So video on demand means you can watch your favorite show beyond the time that it was aired. So just so you know that one. Now, off the back of your recently unveiled master brand campaign, what are some of the key initiatives that you think, or the goals that Showmax hopes to achieve in the Nigerian market? How are these likely to contribute to the growth and development of the film industry in the country?
Well, thank you for mentioning campaign that we just broke. It's still ongoing. It's been really well received. Just to say that there are certain nuances that are particular to us in Nigeria, and these nuances also make us very unique. The campaign has showcased these unique ways of expressing certain things in Nigeria. As Africa's original streaming service, our goal is to continue to be the go-to streaming platform for Nigeria and Africa content. The key initiatives in the Nigerian market is to continue to invest in original stories, which were done over the period that we've been here. We continue to expand our library of Nigerian original film series, TV shows, and documentaries. We know that we have a lot of stories. Nigeria has over 300 ethnic groups. There's so thousands and thousands of stories that can be told across the nation. We can continue to tell these stories from now for the next 10 decades and would not repeat anyone. In the past 1 year alone, we produced 8 Nigerian Showmax original, and this is not even taking into account the hundreds of Nigerian movies currently available on the streaming show, the streaming platform itself, which is Showmax. What this means is that we've created opportunities and will continue to create opportunities for local creatives to have access to funding and bring their creative expressions to life. Aside of this, we're collaborating across different platforms, collaborating with partners to ensure that we give access to our customers. One thing I must state here that is important is that because we have collaborations with international studios like the NBC Universal, who are the franchise owners of Real Housewives of Lagos, which is one of our biggest shows, what this helps us to do is to increase or uplift the quality of the content and the production. We've also seen a surge in story development, upskilling of technical skills. Anyone that works with us on any production would attest to the fact that the quality of their production itself improves.
Well, Mr. Filani, my apologies for butting in. Help people understand or appreciate, that's the word, help people appreciate what you just said now. Because you see, when you talk about opportunities, a good number of people will just say, okay, it's just one movie on Showmax and all of that. But the back end has quite a lot of people. There's the welfare, there is the makeup artists, there is the transporter, there is, you know, the vehicle.
Cameraman.
So, of course, cameramen are, you know, core. But people don't even know that looking good in itself on a Showmax movie, it's a business or a sub-business of sorts. Help people understand or appreciate the volume of work or jobs generated from any movie that Showmax is producing.
Yeah, absolutely correct. So the whole value chain involved in producing a show, there's a lot to it. And part of why we see ourselves and the way we have positioned ourselves in making the core of our business to produce local content is also in line with adding value to the whole ecosystem. We create a lot of jobs in the process, and these jobs are also upskilled. This enable our local film industry to create better films for more global reach and appeal. And we also have more exciting things in the pipeline to showcase the rich culture and talent from Nigeria to the world.
Okay, there seems to be a scramble for the Nigerian market in this SVOD space. What do you think this means for the future of the film industry in Nigeria?
I think they're exciting times. If you look at the entertainment industry in Nigeria, it's evolving and growing. Projections are that the industry will probably generate almost $15 billion in revenue by the end of 2025. The streaming sector on its own is increasing, as you said, a lot of demand, a lot of international streaming platforms are trying to enter the market. By 2027, is expected to exceed 900 million. As these streaming platforms come, we expect that we continue to, this means that more stories will be shared and more access to, of course, global audience from the kind of stories that come out of here. Why we continue to be very big on telling our stories and spotlighting our local talent. Nigeria is very rich in culture, like I said. The rest of the world is currently yearning to learn and experience. For me, I'm so excited at the fact that we can now showcase what Nigeria has and Africa in extension, as long as we stay true to ourselves and the authentic stories that we tell from here, the industry will continue to attract the kind of attention that we're seeing now.
How have Nigerians received this streaming platform? I mean, I've heard of Showmax, I know of it, but I've never watched a movie on Showmax. How has it been received? Are there many people on that platform streaming movies?
Well, I think the biggest attestation to how Nigerians have received us will be from the recently held AMVCA Awards, which is the awards that's African Music Movie Viewers Award, of which we had the best outing so far since we started. We had 22 nominations from titles like Crime and Justice Lagos. We had Flossom. Flossom was a story about 4 women, and a lot of women have attested that they can relate to the story directly. DJ and Wura. The Real Housewives of Lagos, all of them each receiving different nominations. Of this, we won the Best TV Series and Best Picture Editor for Crime and Justice Lagos, and Best Costume Designer went to the Real Housewives. This proves that Showmax is indeed the best place to stream Nigerian series. Our content deeply resonates with the audience, which is why we will be voted for those to be nominated and also win some of them, and across different demographics. We like to say that there's something for everyone on Showmax. Of course, if you're a football lover, we have Showmax Pro, which we stream live sports games, and of course the fans would also be looking forward to watching all sorts. As a fan of documentaries, in the past, I think 2 years ago, we had Journey of the Beats, which examines the history of Afro beats, or even reality shows like The Real Housewives of Lagos, which has a lot of people are looking forward to the new season, which is going to come soon. And of course, for our children, recently we launched a Showmax animation series on JJ, The Chosen One. So getting these 22 nominations is indeed the indication for us that we're doing something right, and our viewers love it because no one can tell a story like we do.
So how then does that, these things that you've said, these award nominations and awards received, how do you think they play this success and this recognition that you've talked about on your brand reputation and audience perception, both in Nigeria and across Africa?
Well, at the end of the day, perception, we continue to do what we do, producing content at the highest quality level that can stand in global spaces, right? First, as long as we continue to do this, the award is one thing, but we benchmark ourselves to global standards, and we'll continue to produce content at that global standard level so that the content that we produce continue to receive the kind of reception that we've seen. The appetite for consumption of local content will continue to increase, as we have seen. We have a lot in our pipeline to ensure that we meet this demand, and in the coming months, you'll see more.
Well, you say that, for people to continue to follow the activities of Showmax, you're on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, and on Facebook. Are these the only ways through which people can get to you, get information about subscription and all those things?
Oh, no. So for
instance, is there a website?
Oh, yes. So for you to subscribe to Showmax, of course, you go to www.showmax.com, create an account, and and you register. We've also made it easy through our partners, which we continue to build a pipeline of partners, especially working with telcos, because data is an access point to ensure that data availability for streaming of Showmax is also good. For us, right now, we offer the lowest data streaming option on the continent, which includes 3 options for every viewer to see. So you have low data savings and max data saving mode, which means even for as low as 50 MB, you are still, per hour, you are able to stream. So a lot is there. We are very passionate and particular about this is Africa. We know our audience, we know our market. We continue to tell stories that resonate to the market at a price point that is also affordable to the market. So for as low as 1,200, you can access it on mobile. You can access your content if you do like, and we have something for everyone.
So I know that if you subscribe to DSTV on Premium, you have Showmax as added benefit.
Yes.
So if you don't have Premium, what then do you have to do?
Okay, so as you know, we're part of MultiChoice Group, and DSTV Premium subscribers are allowed to add Showmax to their bill without having to pay anything. But if you then choose, especially for the younger demographics who are more particular about how they are on the go, they like their content on demand, they are not necessarily targeted, they would not have a DSTV decoder. You simply just have to download the app. It's an app. Okay. You register online at www.showmax. You log on. You pick a subscription option that you like, whether it's 1,200 for mobile, 2,900 for lean-back, or if you want the Showmax Pro, which gives you access to the sports, live sports elements, you start from 3,300 and then 6,300 for the full one. What's important is you have access to this premium content, both local and international. Our global partnerships with the likes of NBC, Universal, HBO. We are the home of HBO in Africa. Warner Brothers. We have a lot of these studios, and we have tons of content for each and every one of them.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned HBO, because when you say Showmax is the original streaming service, you may want to help us understand that. And tell us then what different bundles of Showmax do we have? We have about a minute or so to end this conversation. Now, I can see that there's Showmax Pro. Are there other variations?
Okay, so we have 2 offers for consumers. One is the Showmax itself, which gives general entertainment only, which I said is 1,200, and then you have the one that you can access on multiple devices, 2,900. You then have the Showmax Pro, which allows you to watch live sports and live news. This is for sports lovers who would have access to their EPL games. You have access to the upcoming Women's World Cup. You can have a view on Showmax Pro, whether it's on mobile or on the full bouquet, which is 6,300.
Well, interesting that you mentioned that. I mean, at least from your website, what we have shown people, it's clear that, I mean, it is possible to get other content, you know, foreign content, HBO, Nickelodeon, Nick Jr., National Geographic, and I'm almost certain maybe you have a news channel as well. Who knows? Anyone who would want to might want to go explore them. Well, we have to thank you very much this morning. But just to be clear, you said you're available on some social media platforms. Tell us about them and maybe the handles.
Okay, so we have Showmax is on Twitter. We also have his Instagram handle, which is Showmax NG, and also on Facebook. So we have a large community. Our community managers are very active and engaging. So just go to www.showmax, create an account, log in, and start to enjoy premium content.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Okweoluwa Filani, General Manager, Showmax Nigeria. Thank you very much for coming to tell us about Showmax, where we can stream movies, not just those of us who have decoders, but also those of us who have cell phones. Thank you very much for coming to tell us all about it.
Thank you for having me.
Sunrise will be right back, and we'll be talking about bringing up teenagers. Oh. See you in a bit.